Hello, everybody. This is once again Jeanith Padilla, and welcome back to your Energy Booster podcast. Today, we are going to talk about a theme that resonates with all of us: overcoming setbacks. We've all been there, faced with challenges that seem insurmountable, but it's not the setback itself that defines us, it's how we rise from it. Before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can, and think of a moment in your life when you faced a setback. Remember how it felt, the thoughts that run through your mind. Now, hold onto that thought as we embark on today's journey. In life, setbacks are inevitable. They can be small, like a missed opportunity, or something much larger, like a personal loss. But the essence of a setback lies not in its size, but in its impact in our journey. Let's turn to the Bible, a source, of course, of eternal wisdom for some guidance, and check on the story of Joseph. You can check on it in the book of Genesis. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph's life was a series of harsh setbacks. Yet, he never lost his faith. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells his brother, "What you meant for evil, God meant for good." Imagine that strength of spirit to see God's hand in the darkest of times. It's actually like giving me a goosebump now. I can still remember all those detours in my life that I never thought, would bring me into something where God really wanted me to be. I thought coming here in the US was actually like a huge setback in my life. Oh yeah, I have dreamt of coming here and work as a nurse, but then, you know, I never thought that this dream was coming true because of so much delay. Like the delay it took me 12 years to come over here. 12 years of waiting. And I never thought, that's why I'm saying that I never thought that I would still be coming here. So there were a lot of distractions along the way. Of course, I don't think it's distraction actually, because I think it was just redirection. God was preparing me for something bigger. Like God was preparing me wherever it was in the past. Like he sent me to Saudi Arabia to work as a nurse, and then came back to the Philippines. I raised my daughter, and I built a business. And I really was really, like, I could say I was already happy with where I was until that moment that he called me back into the dream that, into the vision where he wanted me to be. So when he opened this opportunity to me 7 years ago, like, coming here in the US, when I was already comfortable where I was in the Philippines at that moment, I was really heartbroken. He put me into this situation that, I couldn't say no to this opportunity. like at that moment in my life, this was the best option that that I ever had. Like it was like an SIID. It was like a stupid if I don't kind of thing. And yet, coming here in the US was like a setback because I had to be employed again. I had to be, I thought I had to start again, but yeah, later on I realized that I was not really starting again because um with me was all the experiences that, that I had in the past and that made me really stronger coming here in the US. So it's like a lot of setbacks, a lot of detours, a lot of redirections, a lot of delays. And to think about it, it was like chaotic and it was like all over the place and I couldn't understand where God was taking me. But like right now at this very moment, everything was just making sense. So it's like, the story of Joseph. I don't know about you. I know you have your own stories too, that if you can just think about it, like you would have an aha moment that would say, like, oh, yeah, that was it. That happened. So this could happen. That should or must have happened so that I could be where I am right now. And another example, of course, is the story of Jacob or Job. I'm sorry. Job was a man of great faith, and yet he faced immense suffering. I actually like my favorite Bible character is actually Job. I salute him. He lost his children, his wealth, and his health. Imagine that. It seemed like he lost everything he ever had and he worked hard for. Despite his friends urging him to curse God and give up, Job remained steadfast in his faith. His story, especially in Job 42:2, teaches us an essential truth when he said, I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. What a faith. What a faith for him to hold on to God's promises despite of all of his losses. And can you imagine if it happened to you? What would you do? I mean, like if it happened to me, I would be crazy and I would just take my life. Let's just be realistic here. Let's just be honest here. What a faith this man had. His resilience shows us that our spirit can remain unbroken. I want to cry. This is too much. Even under the weight of immense hardship, our spirit can remain intact. You see, these stories aren't just ancient texts. They are mirrors reflecting our own struggles. Like Joseph, he might feel betrayed or let down by those, you know, by those he trusts or by those we trust. People can betray us. People can do a lot of things against us, right? Like Job, we might face losses and, that could shake our core. But within these stories lies a powerful message. Our setbacks are not the end of our story. What a message, right? So, how do we apply this to our lives? It starts with perspective. Instead of viewing setbacks as defeats, We can see them as detours, perhaps leading us to paths we never imagined. I know this is easier said than done, but let us hold on to the truth that Jesus, that God, loves us so much to the point of dying the cross of Calvary. And resilience. Resilience is the key. It's about standing firm in our faith and convictions, even when everything seems to be falling apart. This is crazy, but we have to be resilient. So let's take a moment now. Think about the setbacks you're facing. Maybe the job that you lost, or maybe a rejection from your loved ones, or maybe a broken relationship. Ask yourself, how can this strengthen my faith? How can this experience enrich my journey? Remember, it's not about avoiding setbacks. It's about growing in them or through them. Here's a challenge for you this week. Pick a setback you're dealing with. I know there's a lot. Because, life is a challenge. Life's not perfect. Write down 3 ways this challenge could potentially be a blessing in disguise. And share your thoughts by writing a comment on this podcast. Share your thoughts by sending me a message through my Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Let's support each other in seeing the hidden gifts in our trials. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, each setback is a stepping stone to a greater comeback. Stay strong. Stay faithful. Until next time, this is Jeanith reminding you to embrace your journey with all its twists and turns. I love you and God bless.